just got back from the most amazing 4 days at Disneyland Paris. We had a great time, but Disneyland is not for the faint-hearted, so I have made a list of all of my tips and tricks to survive Disneyland for children. Wear trainers or sneakers or whatever you want to call them. I wore my comfiest boots ever, but I don't think I realized how far you're going to be walking every day. You're walking like 10 kilometers a morning, like it's such a lot of walking. So if you have young children, obviously you'll need a buggy. We took a buggy board for our older child, and you can also hire buggies there for 12 euros a day. So if you have like a 4 or 5 year old that's a bit of a lazy walker, it's definitely worth renting one of those. My feet were comfortable for the first 3 days, and on the third night when I took my boots off, my feet were just bleeding. They were like covered in blood just from the amount of walking we had been doing. So definitely take trainers. My next tip is to book a character breakfast. You can book a character breakfast at the Mickey Cafe. Breakfast is pretty basic, but you get to actually meet Mickey and Minnie and get pictures, and it's so much easier and quicker than queuing to meet them in the parks, especially at busy times. Although if your child has a fear of people dressed up or mascots, which I know a lot of children do, obviously don't do that. So there are 7 Disney hotels, one on site, the Disney Hotel, which is literally like 2 minutes from the park. It's basically like in the park, and you can even see the fireworks from some rooms. But there are further 6 that are just a really short shuttle bus away, like 5 minutes away. We stayed in the Santa Fe Disney Cars Hotel. It was 2-star, but I thought it was really good. And to be honest, you don't spend any time in your room, so I wouldn't worry too much about what the room is like, because you're always going to be in the parks anyway. Definitely worth staying in one of the 7 Disney hotels, because if you do, you get these extra magic hours, I think they call it. So from 8 till 10 in the morning, you're allowed into the parks before the general public. So from 8 till 10 in the morning is a great time for rides, because the queues are much smaller. Get a program and a map before you go and start thinking about what rides and shows your children would like to see. If they're really big into Toy Story, they'll probably want to go and do all the Toy Story rides, etc. Definitely worth looking at, because in Disney, everything is about location. You've got to be in the right location at the right time to do what you want to do. So it's definitely worth a little bit of planning. There is also an amazing app that you can download. It is the Disneyland Paris app, and it has all kinds of information on it. It has park hours, maps, program, even has wait times for rides. So definitely download that app, because you will use it a lot. In terms of food, it is definitely worth taking your own snacks and drinks, and also lowering your standards for food. A lot of American food, burgers, chips, pizza, you know, McDonald's, Planet Hollywood. I did find it quite hard to eat that healthily, and we actually went half board, and the breakfast and dinner that was included was very much like a continental, like croissants and cereals, you know, it wasn't that substantial. So if your kids are like mine and they eat a lot of snacks, definitely take like crisps a day, fruit puree packets, yogurts, things like that, bottles of water. I know it's a little bit extra to carry, but you will be so glad, and you're also saving loads of money. Another tip around food is to eat your meals early. We, for instance, would go to lunch at 11:30, because by 12 o'clock or 12:30, the queue to get into the restaurants would be really big. And we'd always get up and eat our breakfast really early, because we wanted to get into the parks really early anyway, by 8 o'clock. And you can also book your restaurants as well on the site, by phone in your hotel room or prior. There is nothing worse than hungry kids. There are 2 parks at Disney, the Disneyland Park itself, which is huge, and the Universal Park as well. Because they are so big and there is a bit of a walk between the 2 of them, it might be worth dedicating 1 day to Universal and 2 days to the Disneyland Park, or vice versa. So maybe if you can try and plan a little bit of like a program for, okay, we're gonna see all the shows that day in that park and go on all of those rides, and then we're gonna do that way. It just saves your feet a little bit in terms of walking. If your children love to dress up, it is definitely worth bringing their Disney fancy dress clothes. We saw children that were dressed up that got quite a few benefits. We went to the Frozen sing-along, and any little girl that was dressed up as Elsa or Anna got to sit in these prime seats that were right in the center. and they're all blue and like glitzy. Throughout the sing-along, they would go up to them with the microphone and let them sing, and so they got the best seating. And there was also some other children that were dressed up as stormtroopers, and they got fast-tracked at the Star Wars ride. Another tip from me is to bring money for souvenirs. Maybe allocate each child 25 euros or something like that they can spend in the shops. Disney are really clever, and they direct you to their merchandise every opportunity they can. For instance, if you get off of some of the rides, you go straight into a gift shop. There's no way around the gift shop. You have to go through it. So your children are going to be very tempted. So if you give them a budget and an amount that they can definitely spend, and then it's their choice, then that's good. Next tip is to take appropriate clothing for the weather. Obviously, if you go in the summer, take sun cream, hats, drinks. We went in the winter, so we took thermals, we took extra socks, we took coats, we took hats, we took scarves, gloves, everything like that, just because you will be spending so much time outside that you will want to be prepared. If your child is a little bit older and they're really into Disney, it is definitely worth taking a little autograph book and a pen, because I saw lots of children getting signatures from the characters, and they're a little bit expensive in the gift shops there, so take one of those if your child, you think they'll be into that. Next tip is to definitely go and see the parades. My boys loved them, and they are 2 and 5, and they absolutely loved them. When we watched the parades, we kind of stood at the end of the parade, so we got to see everyone sort of coming and going. Another tip is to maybe you can stand on a corner so you have like a really good view, and you might want to get a spot for the parade about 20 minutes before it starts, because it can be quite busy. And same goes with fireworks. Fireworks happen every night at the close of the park. So on the weekends it's quite late, I think it's 10 o'clock. On the weekdays it's 7 o'clock, so younger children can sort of see that one. It lasts for 30 minutes, and there's this like mass exodus at the end of it, because obviously it's the close of the park. So leave at 20 or 25 minutes into the fireworks so that you don't get caught up in the whole like craziness of the crowds. If your children like mine are quite young and they haven't seen loads of Disney movies, it's worth getting them to watch a few before you go, just because it's going to help with the excitement when you're there. My children didn't know who Lilo and Stitch were, they haven't seen Peter Pan, Aladdin, things like that, so it's definitely worth seeing Toy Story, Dumbo, Aladdin, Peter Pan, Snow White, some movies like that, just so that they understand some of the rides and shows a bit better. This is 1 hour ahead of England. We just kept our children in our English time zone, and it helped with the evenings as well, because they were an hour ahead, so it was already like they were staying up an hour late, and they could see things like the fireworks and the Christmas lights at night. My very last tip is to just embrace your inner child. It is such a magical place. But as parents, we can't help but see the walking, how commercial it is, how much money we're spending, the weather, you know, all of those kinds of things. But your children, they don't even see it. They just love it. They just have an amazing time. So just enjoy it, and be prepared to hold back the tears when your children meet their heroes, because it is like tear-jerking. I nearly cried about 3 times. Once at the Frozen sing-along, once watching the parade, and once, you know, watching the Christmas lights. It is just so lovely to see your children so happy. I feel a bit emotional now talking about it. Such a loser. Thank you so much for watching. I hope these tips will help you. Disney is amazing. It was exhausting, but brilliant, and we will definitely be going back. If there's anything I've missed in this review, please just comment down below. I always reply to my comments, so ask me anything. And thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. See you very soon. Bye. We made it to Disneyland!